Hello everyone, how is it going? Phoenix61 here with your daily dose of World of Warships Legends. We are in the Huanghe, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, right? But this is one of the ships that's available with the, the current update with the Lunar New Year stuff that's out there. And it's a returning ship, right? So I have it because I think I got it in past years from like a Lunar New Year crate probably or something like that. This is one where, it's available in the store and I highly recommend not spending doubloons on it. It's not my favorite, but, as part of the Janan Bureau project, right, you can get wins with it daily to help boost, I think, at least the first segment stage if you're working through that, if you're starting that bureau project early. And then there's also missions that came along with this update for most of the like ships that are like for sale or you can get from crates, right? So and that'll give you an extra, if you get like 5 wins with it, I think it was, you'd get an extra Lunar New Year crate, right? So what I was doing was double duty. I was playing this for my premium supplies, was also playing through it for the mission to try and get 5 wins, and then also was helping me, get through my bureau project a little bit quicker, right? So for the Jadon, because I'm interested in playing through that ship, or playing with that ship, right? So we're being a little sneaky. I jumped ahead right into the action of this first game. I actually have I think 3 games here, because this one goes pretty quick. We got some torp hits, which is, nice, but like you only get 1 launcher on each side of 3, so you got to keep that in mind, right? Like, so that doesn't always happen. I don't always get that lucky with the torps. We just sort of suspected which way people were coming through the zone, so got lucky there, but. And then a decent range on them, and then they are your Pan-Asian deep water torps, right? So they have the little circular icon as they travel through the water, and that means that you cannot hit destroyers with those if you're not familiar with that. So yes, destroyers are immune. Those torpedoes go right underneath them. We accidentally slip out of the zone, so duck back in to try and help with capturing it. We have to be very cautious about that Arizona. As you can see, this ship, it's very cruisery. It's a cruisery cruiser, right? I always like to say that. You got to watch your angling. You got to watch your, don't be out in the open with heavy battleships, right? Like, they're going to take you out pretty quick, no matter how much you're angled, right? So, but yeah, we're keeping an eye out for cruisers. I think I was kind of, I had a hate relationship with this ship previously, and now that I've played it a little more, it's okay. I think that what I wasn't suspecting is the AP shells have been kind of doing a little bit more than I originally suspected or thought, right? With most of these Pan-Asian ships, I'm usually trying to like trigger fires. But you can see here, now granted, this Zara's coming out, full on broadside, but so are we. And so we take the shot, but I think he probably could have finished this off, to be honest, right? So if he was aiming guns, doing the exact same thing that we were, he probably could have gotten his rear turrets on me faster than I got my front turrets on him. I'm not sure, but because he was aiming torpedoes, right, we were able to take advantage, and yeah, we just pounded, got 4 or 5 Citadel hits right in one shot there. So yeah, cruisers that are giving you a good angle. You can see even at range, we're at 10 kilometers for the Saoba. We still got good chunky damage on him. And then here's where, yeah, Arizona's going to, even though we were kind of angled, right, he took good chunk out of us there. I'm surprised we didn't die, to be honest. And then Ranger's going to get spotted, but like I said, we're going to have to watch out for this Arizona. So if I can get turned and maybe get some land in between us and him so he doesn't have line of sight on us, then maybe we can go to town on this Ranger. So that's kind of why I made that cut back in, hoping that he can't, he would hit the land if he tried firing his guns at us, right? So... But yeah, we're going to do AP at this Ranger, and you can see we're getting good penetrations and getting some Citadel hits there. So, they're not mega huge hitters, but like for a tier 5 cruiser, I think that's pretty good. So yeah, I think that I started, as I was playing it more, I was, opening up and using the AP shells a little bit more. So I don't know, I probably don't have anything built into the AP shells either. So maybe worth experimenting with, although like I said, I I don't really enjoy this ship, so it's pretty rare that I play it, right? Like I said, I was playing through to get my 5 wins, you know, for the mission that's in the missions tab, and then, you know, to help boost my my progress for the Bureau project for the Janan, because that first stage, if you have this ship, you know, you can get a little bit of a speed boost there. But yeah, fast forwarded through the end after we killed the carrier there, just because we didn't really participate in the rest of the game. But 90,000 damage, that put us in 3rd place there, gave us some silver, right? So we'll jump into game number 2. Kind of nice playing these lower tiers because you get a little bit more mix-up of the maps, right? So we've got this like shrunken down version of this one. Icarus comes ablazing around the corner here. So he is not going to stand a chance if he can't get torpedoes on us because, well, even with his smoke, our sonar is going to maintain spotting of him. So and then we'll go just to the left of these torps because that one's going to hit the island there. And so we'll get around all of those and avoid those. And then we're getting a little bit of help. You could see some other people shooting him as well. But I'm going to keep turning out and try and get this rear turret on him. I think he was trying to back up to get out of line of sight of us. And then, yeah, he's using his, like, trying for the single launcher torpedoes to get something on us. But, yeah, we take him down. So didn't quite get the kill there, but that's fine. Not always a big deal. And then we know that there's at least one battleship around the corner, and then somebody picks up this Pensacola as well. So we've got our work cut out for us in this game, and I would say this is a little bit of an aggressive push, but you can see the Caracelio, right, that Italian battleship, right? He's in his smoke screen, right? They've got that rolling smoke, and so we can actually come around the corner and not be spotted. Kind of just taking advantage of the fact that he's in his smoke, and it works both ways. You know, a battleship's going to have a really bad smoke firing penalty, right? So if you're firing your guns and you're close to people, like, it's almost not worth using the smoke there, right? So we'll sneak into the cap and try and help get the zone. I'm always up for more XP and credit earnings, so that's why I help with objectives as much as I can. Also, it's nice to win, but you get what I'm saying, right? I kind of figured his smoke was going to probably die off soon, and we do have this sort of like creeping smoke with this ship, right? So it, you can see the deployment time is super long, but the how long it lingers is super short. So you're almost more focused on how long it's deploying, but you can move around slowly with this, right? In reverse or maybe at like a quarter throttle going forward. So yeah, I'm just holding off firing the guns. You can see we backed up too much there, and so we got spotted for a split second. It didn't give him enough time to react to us, though. But so my plan here was, let's use this smoke, this rolling smoke, to sneak up on this Pensacola. But I just kind of do it wrong, and I get spotted anyway. But luckily, he is shooting HE instead of AP. I think if he would have sent AP rounds into our hull the way we were angled, like we're doing to him here, right? He probably could have taken us out. Pensacola's got great AP when you use it right? So, but he was shooting HE at us, so we get away with that. But yeah, my plan was to not get spotted and then be able to chunk him, and get all the damage done to him before he has time to react. But we just didn't work out that well. We just lucked out because he was using HE. I think really probably should have been able to take us out. And then yeah, Bayern is out here, and there's also a cruiser, a Japanese cruiser out there as well. So I'm gonna stop here and try not to get shot by the Bayern. But yeah, so we've still got a couple seconds left on the smoke, so we get away with that there. And then yeah, it's a mono, right? Yep. So and like I said, like if you can get, he's kind of kiting away, right? He's got the long range torpedoes, so we'll have to keep an eye out for those. But yeah, if they give up enough angle, like even at range, we were still getting good damage hits with the AP, right? So I think it just took me a little bit longer to experiment with the AP, but yeah, it might be worth building into it. I don't know, because you only get the one torpedo launcher on each side, so it's not like and you don't get a torpedo reload booster or anything like that, like you do with some of the other Pan Asian cruisers, right? So this might be the way to go. We're getting spotted by something, right? Most likely a destroyer. So I'm hanging out here because I know that Amano's got those long-range torps. Plus, we were spotted for a second by most likely the destroyer. And so I'm waiting for my sonar to come back before I kind of go out into the open and go exploring, right? We only have a little bit of health left, right? So potentially that Bayern could take us out pretty easily if he decided to wait for us here. But it looked like he was going to go after the other cruiser around the corner, so I kind of felt comfortable just taking a little bit of the risk here. So we'll do that. Get a shot off on the Amano without getting spotted there. But now we do get picked up. And then, yep, we've got the sonar going, right, because I know he's got those longer range torpedoes, right? So 2 Citadel hits there, yeah. So here come his torps. And we'll just keep shooting that, lobbing that AP over this ledge here. So now we can actually be undetected. Nobody has line of sight on us now. So destroyer must not be nearby. Then take that island, hit the land there. We'll move out. And then, yeah, Leviathan manages to finish him off quite easily. And then, yeah, we're going to fast forward a little bit here because our allied cruiser takes out that Bayern there, and then we're going to head towards the A-cap. And just like, based on when I got spotted here, like you'll see we get spotted for a second here, I was like, maybe he's still at spawn, like maybe it's an AFK destroyer, right? He hadn't gotten spotted at all yet, so I actually started going towards the spawn spots, and then I noticed B is getting captured, right? So I was wrong. So he's up at B. So we'll continue to fast forward here because we're going to chase him down. So once we find him, we'll bring it back to normal speed here. But right, we're going to get the A cap, do the smart boy thing, right? Do the good boy thing, and cap the zone. Even though it's 1 ship left at this point, it's a Fubuki. We know it's a torp boat. So we're going to push up a little bit more. We can see torpedoes out there already, and so I was waiting just a little bit before triggering the sonar, right? Because now he's probably got eyes on us as he's potentially moving away from that battleship that he's shooting torpedoes at, right? So you can just kind of take a guess where he's at just based on where those torpedoes, like the direction that they're moving. And so sure enough, we pick him up here. We've got the sonar going if we need it, but he did just send torpedoes. Right, Fubuki's got pretty quick reload on the torps, right? So we do have to be careful here. But everyone's going to help us out, right? Because he's literally the only ship left to shoot at. So he's not going to last too long. But yeah, I like for a moment there, I forgot how low I was on health. Right? So he actually almost took us out. He probably, if he would have shot AP at us, might have been able to finish us off there, right? Just with the angle we were giving up. But yeah, that does put us at the top for this game as well. And then walked away with 350k in silver. And so we're going to go into one more game here. And yep, fast forward, skipped ahead to where the action was, right? So we're just running into like quick short games. We'll take the shots at the destroyer, right? Cruisers are, it's kind of your duty, I guess you could say, right? If you're a cruiser, usually you're the best tool for the job when it comes to removing destroyers from the game. So we will take our shots at him while we can here. Not having the best of luck with the hits there. There we go. We get something decent. But right, for him only having like 2 health bars, right, you would think we'd be draining him a little bit quicker here. But there we go. We got fire again. Just need someone to keep him spotted, which I don't think is going to happen anymore. Right, so you can see here, like what I did was I kind of moved up towards, some land, towards some cover, so that way when our smoke screen does run out, we aren't just out in the open and vulnerable. And then I switched to AP, and then of course these battleships show up. So we got decent broadside shot on this cruiser, so I was going to shoot and try some AP with him, and then of course some of our shells hit the island there, which is unfortunate. And yeah, the torpedoes got the decent range, but like I said, like they become tough to use, because if you're pushing up on a battleship or something, you almost need them to be chasing you, right? Like if you're pushing up on a battleship, like the New Mexico could just smoke us in 1 or 2 salvos, right? So Smoke screen runs out, so we're going to have to, you know, I need an adult situation and kind of get angled and moved away because, of course, this cruiser, in all sort of battleship fashion, right, when a cruiser gets spotted, battleships like to stop what they're doing and shoot you. He actually did take, he was taking a shot at the other cruiser on my team, so that makes sense. And I could see on the mini-map that destroyer gets spotted again, too. But he goes undetected there, too. So I was kind of, you know, he's like kind of at range, right? It's like, well, maybe we should, you know, divert our attention that way, but then he goes undetected anyway. And, like, if I start looking at him, then I'm not paying attention to when this New Mexico shoots, and I just, you know, die. So but he's what's probably keeping us spotted right now, which is what's frustrating. So we'll just keep kind of trying to chip away at this New Mexico, and then, yeah, it looked like he was going to divert his attention elsewhere, so we could potentially get turned back in here and push up towards the C cap here. Similar to what the rest of my team is doing at this point. And then once this game's over, I'll go through the commander build and guide that I kind of sort of what I normally do, right? But yeah, that destroyer got picked up again. Looking at the mini-map. So we did see this, you know, and this is something that, like, I'm always, like, normally almost don't do this, right? So there's a destroyer that showed up on the mini-map for a second there, and then I can see his smoke screen out here, right? But if you look at the mini-map, like, he is far away from other ships and objectives, right? And so while, you know, I'm the right tool for the job as far as, like, I'm in a cruiser with, you know, sonar, and I could probably chase and hunt him down fairly easily, it takes me out of play as well. So you always kind of have to weigh the pros and cons of doing this. Like, you know, especially like cruisers kiting away and stuff like that. Like, I get away, like, I play cruisers quite a bit, and so I get away with getting people to chase me, and then if they do end up killing me, right, they're so far away from objectives that they end up losing on points or something anyway. So, like, right, so we'll trip our sonar here and then just kind of plow forward and go in towards him as much as we can. We know he probably doesn't have smoke since he was sitting in it before, so he probably doesn't have smoke screen ready. So, and then of course now we're within, you know, his spotting range, and then we're going to be within sonar range, right? So he doesn't stand a chance. We just have to keep an eye out for torpedoes, which we should have plenty of warning for because we've got the sonar going, right? So we'll finish him off, and then we'll head towards the C cap and try and help out with that. He did send torpedoes, but he sent them towards our destroyer, so we'll plow up in this direction. And then, yeah, they've got, you know, these couple of ships on the enemy team. If you look at the minimap, battleship and cruiser, they're kind of kiting away from this this objective as well, right? So this is that situation where, like, yeah, the conservative play, you can kite away and try and get rid of some ships and do some damage, but at the same time, we're going to have all three zones capped, and so that's going to run you into this situation of you're just not going to have the points by the end of the game. And so, like, if it takes you too long to kill the ships, right, then you're screwed. And so, and then, you know, at this point, like, you know, we'll cap this zone, and then if we needed to, we could kite away, and they would be forced to try and play the objectives in order to catch back up on points, right? So this is going to be, you know, even though we are actually down a ship, we're just looking at the mini-map and, like, the health situation of our ships. You know, I'm already thinking that this is a done deal for this game, right? So we'll just continue to do this, right? We'll go help with the zone cap, and then we've got 2 smoke screens left, so if anybody's doing spotting for us, we can sit and smoke and just shoot at people, right? So, but yeah, becomes that situation, right, where, like, now, you know, we've got the game momentum, and so if you needed to, right, you could play conservative, kite away, and force them to come into the zones and then set the traps for them, right? Send torpedoes through those zones as they push up. But if they're not going to push up, then, of course, you can chase them down. You just have to be careful, you know, not to die, right? Not to die, and pay attention to the minimap and make sure, you know, other objectives aren't disappearing while you're distracted by a ship that's kiting away, right? So we can get if he does keep pushing up this way, we would have the torpedo shot on him. Then I'm going to switch to the AP rounds that we triggered to fire. I think maybe somebody else triggered to fire too. So we'll see how the AP does against him, especially since he's going to be nice and angled broadside for us. Does okay. We get over pens there, but we kind of hit, you know, structure on top instead of the hull. And then just didn't lead him enough for that last one, so probably would have had that kill if I had aimed a little bit better. I think maybe he turned away some, so I should have aimed higher or something too. But yeah, we're still spotted right now. New Mexico takes a shot at us, but of course we actually have a decent amount of health, unlike some of my other games. We're actually, you know, getting through the towards the end of the game with some health pool left, so we'll take advantage of that. We'll drop the smoke here. New Mexico is probably still reloading, so we don't have to worry about getting concealed too quickly here, but still going to want it. And then, yeah, I'm going to shoot HE, see if we can't trigger fires on him. And then I'll just keep creeping forward here as well to get all 3 turrets on target. We do finally trigger a fire. So we will divert our attention elsewhere. We'll try and fire at this Congo. Got the fire on him. He puts it out right away, which he kind of has to because, yeah, he was low on health. Otherwise, he would have just burned. And then we know there was, an Omaha out here as well. So I sent the torpedoes towards him in case he pushes out. So if he comes around that corner, we'll have those deep water torpedoes ready to meet him. And if not, we'll probably use AP shells and finish him off that way. So Omaha, Vasteras is left as well. See if we can't help get rid of him first. And we get the Omaha spotted. Somebody picked him up. Alright. Vasteras is gone. We're going to send more torpedoes just to the right of this island in case this Omaha moves up, like I was kind of, you know, suspecting before. And then New Mexico's only got a little bit of health left as well. We'll trigger the sonar here. If we get close enough to the Omaha, we'll pick him up. Otherwise, I believe he's also got torpedoes of his own. But yep, AP into the broadside Omaha is going to work great. We're getting a couple of citadels per salvo here. So it should only take one more, and then, yep, sure enough, there is his torpedoes. So we will have to kind of try and avoid those. But at this point, it wouldn't be that big of a deal if we died, because he is the last one. So went from like almost, only like 30,000 damage dealt or so, 30 or 40, and then towards the end of the game, like, we got up to 94,000, right? So 2,900 XP for that one puts us at the top of the leaderboard again. And then we'll go through how we have the build set up, right? So aiming system mod and prop mod are my go-tos there. You only get the 2 slots. And then, yeah, we are using, this is a free-to-play commander, Chen Shokan, right? So I'm using this same commander for my, you know, the regular Pan-Asian cruiser line as well. So I have this more outfitted for those ships than I do for this one. But yeah, you do get some smoke firing perks here, which is kind of nice, which works well with the ship since you have that, you know, sort of that creeping smoke, right? But yeah, so and I picked smoke on the water here, and then fully packed here, right? So that's how I've done it. But like I said, it's kind of more so set up, you know, like I said, like maybe the AP shells would be worth, you know, focusing on a little bit more. I don't know. But like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time with it because it's not really my favorite ship. So we'll probably leave it at that. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you're following the channel. I really do appreciate those of you who subscribe. That helps me out quite a bit. We do Legends videos every day. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.